Hey everybody, happy Thursday. This video, I wanted to shoot it yesterday with much excitement. However, I just couldn't get that down. I got busy yesterday and yesterday kind of went downhill. But I'm going to speak about what I wanted to originally speak about, which is what this video is going to be about. Let me do my little bit of a disclaimer because it has a lot to do with that. So in no way, shape, or form am I endorsed, ambassador, or sponsored by any of the companies in which I speak about. I solely speak about the information that I get from other forms and sources. I only speak and I repeat it to you out of the goodness of my heart. A lot of people don't know a lot of things about that, so I'm learning the ins and outs and things that I find interesting in my world, and I want to share it with you, who I consider my faraway friends. Okay, I may mention some names, name dropping today, and that's all good and fine. If it is name dropping, it's solely to recommend. If I like something, maybe you'll like it too. Okay, but in no way, shape, or form am I sponsored, endorsed, or getting paid for any of it. I'm just doing it from me to you. Anyway, I'm sitting here having tea. I should call this Tinkerellas tea time. I really should, because yesterday was more of Tinkerellas tea time. Just spilling the tea. I mean, there should have been a flood all over the place, not just spilling. And I am discussing with you right now the Disney shareholders meeting. Okay? I waited for this. I always wait for these things. If it's not that, it's the shareholders, the stock annual reports from Disney. These are things that I like in my life. These are things that I am interested in. These are things that are the backbone source of how this company is running, folks. Okay? This is what it is. Okay? And in my world, I do not own any stocks whatsoever. But I find it a hell of a bit funny that people still do. Especially after the crap that happened yesterday. It was unbelievable, which I will explain to you. I watched it live. I watched it in its entirety, and I watched it through another YouTube channel, who I find a very reliable source. There are a few channels that I watch this. I am exclusive to watching these. It's like turning on my TV at night and watching the evening news. You know, I mean, they really are a very good source of information, and they give you the ins and outs and what's going on behind the business world of how Disney company is being run. Okay. They are not giving any legal advice. They don't do that. They are just sitting, they are chatting. If they find out any legal sources, they will explain it to you into better terms so that you and me and everybody on the outside could understand. But they come out with such great information. They really, really do. And when they call something, when they see something and they call how it may develop and how it may end out, it's usually on the mark. Really is. Okay. When I say that now, they had the annual stockholders meeting for Disney. And I'm going to explain to you how it's usually run. And then I'm going to tell you how it was run yesterday. And if I was a stockholder, which I am not, even if I had 50 cents in this company, I would want that 50 cents back. Listen, give me my money. I want to pull out of here. I want to get the hell out of here. I want to sell my stock. I'm going to sell it. I want to get out of here. I'm going to sell my stock to some other sucker who wants it. Because there's one of those born every minute in this case. This is a sham. And I'll get to that. Okay, how it's supposed to be run years ago, well, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, it's supposed to be run that way. Now, since COVID, everything's switched. But you know what? COVID is over now. We're over COVID for a few years now. You need to come back to the way you were. But obviously, many companies, they're so comfortable in the way that they are acting now. So they just stay the way they are, which is kind of sad. Okay, now, how the stockholders meeting should be formed is that people that are stockholders and people that are presenting issues, they will present it in front of the board. The board gets to vote yay or nay on this situation. There were 10 subjects yesterday that were being voted upon. There were numerous red flags with this. First of all, they had their meeting, the board, which happens to be Bob Iger and his cast of idiots. That's what I'm going to call them. Bob Iger and the cast of idiots. Okay, that's a new band coming out. Anyway. So They get to vote on who gets to stay on the board, who gets to be voted into the board, who gets yada, yada, yada. Okay, that's all fancy. Okay, it's like a big award ceremony. They do that and just about give people a crown. Anyway, but Bob Iger is the star of the show, okay? Now, we all know how Iger could be. I find Iger always very controlling. He likes to control situations. We've known this for a few years, okay? Take a look at poor Bob Chapek, for God's sakes. Now, you got angry with Chapek. I told you, it was never Chapek. Bob was behind it, okay? Pulling the puppet strings for Chapek. All right, let's move on from that and go right to yesterday. Now, the board gets presented certain things. They get to vote a yay or nay. Before that, they get to vote for each other and who gets to, be moved up in the company, who gets to do this and that and that. Okay, I'm giving you the short end of how this is going. This is how I explain it. Okay. So Mr. Peltz, if you guys know who Mr. Peltz is, Mr. Peltz was there. He presented his issues. And I want to tell you something. They voted him out. They gave him a nay. Mr. Peltz yet. Now, Peltz has been in the news with them. He's had controversies with them. Things are going on. If you guys understand, read, Google it. You guys will know. They voted him out. I was like, okay, the guy that I think they could really, truly benefit from, they wind up, no thanks. Okay. There was a few women that presented their cases. Now, there was 10 issues. What it was is that I'm giving you the short, everybody presented there was like 2 women that presented their case. One was about the transgender community and everything. Well, of course, Disney gave them a nay also. I was like, okay, we're on a roll here. So out of 10 things, I think they kept maybe 2 or 3, and then they booted the rest. That's not surprising. The surprising crap is coming up. Now, the next part of the meeting is that Bob Iger, he comes on the little film and he explains of everything that's about Disney and everything that's going to be about Disney and the new crap that is coming. They also showed you a still shot of the new concept for Moana, which was supposed to be a TV show on Disney Plus, but now they scrapped that and decided to make it another movie. So Bob likes control. So Bob, it's Bob's word. Bob says it goes. Okay, Bob says yes, then it happens. Okay, this is what it is. Mandalorian season 4, by the way. You could say goodbye to that because most likely that's not going to happen. That started out as to be a rumor, which rumors with the Disney company usually turn out to be true. 9 times out of 10. Okay, and don't lie to yourselves because you damn well know it. I mean, it's been proven. Okay, so that's say goodbye to that season 4. I'm going to miss it because now the story to me and it's just going to end and not make any more sense. Okay, that's the way it goes. Now, Bob comes out with a little film and he's talking and he's telling people what's going to happen. This is going to happen. Avatar, they're building something for Avatar. I was singing songs in my head while he was talking. That's how stupid this was, but we're going to get to the worst stuff ever. Now, it comes to the question and answer session, which... how it's supposed to be conducted is that it's usually from a few years ago, even before the COVID, that the board is you are sitting in front of the board in person. You get to go there and you get to speak and answer and present yourself in front of Bob and his cast of idiots. Okay? Unfortunately, this has been tapering off as the years go on. It's got nothing to do with COVID. I'm going to say it's got nothing to do with COVID. This is my opinion. Okay? So with that, question and answer session. You are supposed to ask Bob your questions. Bob is on live in front of you in the flesh, is supposed to answer on command. Okay? Here's what happened yesterday. Stockholders should take your money and run. Okay? Because as Bob and his cast of idiots is now running this even worse than before, Here's the thing. Now, I'm going to call her animatronic lady. This is a series of animatronic people. Because what happens is the questions were pre-entered. There's nobody there. Nobody got on a phone to call. Now, last year, I believe people got on the phone to call and speak to Bob, which kind of, if you noticed last year's, I don't know if you guys are into it, but last year's stockholders meeting, I noticed that it was kind of putting Bob in the corner and kind of throwing him up against the wall, because now you have no idea how those questions are going to be asked. And you have no idea in your head. You have to think of an answer to speak to these people. Well, yesterday was the end-all be-all. They were pre-entered by, I'll call her an animatronic lady. And Bob, we have a new question for you. And this question is from blah, blah, blah. And this question, now, here's the thing. They never even mentioned who the questions were from. She just gave you the question. And Bob, who was supposed to answer in his own head, wound up reading the answers. He already had the answers pre-written. So he already knew what the questions were going to be. It was all a stage. It was all staged. I'm going to come out and say something right now, okay? If you guys believe it, fine. If you don't, fine. But this is my interpretation. If those questions were preempted, what makes you think that Bob wasn't preempted? Remember, this was all done by phone and computer generated. And Bob, this next question involves Universal Studios. We all went, oh my God, okay, here it comes, Universal Studios, because we were waiting for this question. He kind of danced around that answer. What do you think of the projects of Universal Studios? And do you think that will bother you and the Disney company? And it was just ridiculous. The program that I was watching, they were the ones that put the live broadcast up. So we're all watching it. And they started hysterical laughing. It's like they couldn't stop. I don't blame them. But those people that are presenting the show also that posted it are actual stockholders. So they were like, this is a slap in the face. Because first of all, you're supposed to be there to answer questions. Second of all, you don't even know who the questions came from. They never mentioned who the questions came from. And the questions were pre-written and I guarantee you they were pre-edited, because guarantee if you have a question, that question did not come out the way you probably wanted it presented. Let's say if I had a question, I'd sent my question in. That question was probably re-edited and made that it's a little bit more of a nice question instead of, well, Bob, let's say if your company goes downhill, what do you think about the Universal Epic Universe situation going on? See, that's what he doesn't want that. He wanted it done all nice. I'm thinking to myself, if that was pre-edited and preempted and animatronic figured spoken, what makes you think that he wasn't preempted? That those answers, he pre-recorded his answers. That's what I thought. I was like, this is all a sham. This is not supposed to be this. Should there be a law against this? Of how this is all conducted? This is supposed to be in the law. How is this being conducted like this? And people are putting up with this. Well, it all ended with the, thank you so much, and thank you so much for speaking to us. Nobody spoke to him. You didn't get anybody to speak. The only people that spoke was the beginning to present, those people to present their cases to the board. But the questions that were supposed to be asked were supposedly actual stockholders. This is why the stockholders get a chance to come out and ask questions. But years ago, it used to be right in front of his ass. Or should I say right in front of his face? No, you know what? Right in front of his ass. Because that's the body part everybody should be talking to right now. His ass. Yes, because he is an ass. Okay? So, stockholders, I feel bad for you. Then again, I don't feel bad for you. Because I kind of got a few chuckles out of it. This is what people are investing their money in. A crackpot team like this, a company, because he wants control. He likes control. So he basically controlled that whole thing yesterday. It may not have been that way last year or a few months ago, but yesterday he did it. He did it. But could he really get away with it? I mean, he got away with it. Now, here's the other problem. Let's go back to the beginning again. Because voting the votes were still happening after a certain amount of time while that meeting was still happening. Shouldn't the votes have been in already before the broadcast came on? Votes were still, okay, you can still cast your votes now. You still have a few minutes to cast your votes. I never heard of such a thing. Who casts your vote while the actual meeting is taking place? Shouldn't that have all been sufficed already? Why not? The damn questions were. The damn questions were already preempted. Why not the voting? Something's not right, folks. And if you guys believe different, you really need to rethink yourselves. Something is not right. Something's very off. Everybody today will be talking about this for the next few weeks of how this crap went on. And then when the universal question came out, okay, his answer was, oh, well, you know, we have things going on too. We're building this. We're doing this. We built Tron. We're doing Tiana's Bayou Adventure. We're going to be doing the Avatar Land thing. Do you hear yourself when you're talking? First of all, Tron took 5 years. This is a whole freaking theme park that's going. This is a whole 5-section park. This is a brand new park, and it's going up every day. You took 5 years for a friggin' roller coaster. What are you talking about? Why? Do you hear yourself? Total sheer idiocy. Totally. So everybody, you know, that was watching the live bros got a chuckle out of that one. I mean, it's like, who are you trying to convince? Because you sure as hell ain't convincing us. You trying to convince yourself? Yeah, I just think sometimes he just likes to hear himself talk big business things, but really he's talking about absolutely nothing. It is total idiocy, really. The whole thing yesterday was a total shame. Now, everybody today is talking about it. Now, news articles will be going up. Now, as we were all watching the broadcast, this is a killer. This is a killer. The stocks that were live, because you get to watch the stocks, were at 123 point something. I can't remember the last words. Well, I put it on my stock thing, and I'm literally watching. As Bob is talking, literally as Bob is talking, I kid you not, those stocks were dropping. Everybody could not stop laughing. I'm sitting here and I'm laying in bed with my phone. I'm go. I want to see this happen. How much more a stockholder is going to put up with? Let me just explain this to you, okay? It may be one thing that because you feel the need to have your Disney fantasies that you want to run to the park and you spend your money. You think, literally, do you really think that that's what keeps the parks in business? Do you really think this? You're solely wrong on this. It is the people behind the scenes. It is the shareholders that buy the stocks. They share holdings of the company. They own part of this company. Those are the people you need to clap for. Those are the people that are keeping this crackpot company afloat. Don't you understand this? It is not you running to the park, buying the latest merchandise, buying Disney Genie Plus. It is not, you think that you're doing something. You're really not. You basically are helping the shareholders keep their money afloat as well. And their shareholder money, putting it in, is keeping this business afloat. So one is doing the other and the other is doing the other. Everybody is trying to help everybody. But meanwhile, this company, what the hell he's really doing? It is bad, folks. It was bad. The whole thing was like a real sick embarrassment of a joke. I'm sitting there, I was like, is this really happening now? Because this shit's really funny. I got a great kick out of that yesterday. I really enjoyed listening. And I think the stock by 4 p.m., sorry, my ear just went out. It's been doing that a lot lately. Okay, came back. And as of 4 p.m. yesterday, the stocks, my stock market closed. It closed at 118.89 or 98. It was hysterical. It went down 3 points, 3%. 3%. Now, 3% with the shareholders, they know the deal. They know because they're in business. They know how much that they're losing. And they most likely lost a lot. But not only did they lose, but that also has to do with people selling their stocks and getting rid of them. at that time. As Bob is talking, that number was dropping. I was like, this is too funny. This is great. I enjoyed that. I really did. And I'm not going to lie about that. So, I mean, stockholders, I feel for you. I really do. That was an embarrassment of a meeting. That was the worst meeting ever. I want to say. I mean, I thought all the other meetings were, wait till they get to the annual earnings reports. Wait till they do that. Because, I mean, then you're going to see how much the parks actually made. That's the fun. But this here was for the stockholders. So this was their time to shine. This was their time. This was their chance to ask questions. This was their chance to, I own part of this company. What do you mean I can't ask a question? And if you did ask a question, it was probably butchered, and they never even mentioned who you were. So that's like a real slap in the face, folks. That is, I mean, what else would you call it? Come on. It was done wrong. It was not supposed to be done that way. That was wrong. And it should be against the law. It really should. There should be some legal issues with that, technically. It was not right at all. So let me know what your views are on that. Do you guys own stock? I mean, it was a total embarrassment. Total shame. Oh. I loved hearing it, though. I did. Those are the things that get me to know the real issues of the company, not just you running to the park filming the latest ice cream cone, or the newest t-shirt that's out. You guys got nothing to do with it. You go to the parks, you spend your money, you really have nothing to do with this. This is all these people right here hold their good money that they are taking and investing it into this company, thinking that they are all going to profit from it, when in fact, who's making the big bucks? Who really is making the big bucks? And I think it's Iger and his cast of idiots. Literally. That's a shame. That's a shame. So I would like to kind of not really do a shout out, but I'm going to let you know who I listen to and who I watch, which was yesterday's broadcast. The live broadcast came from Valiant Renegade. Absolutely love them. Absolutely. There are another connectivity news program, which is WDW Pro. And everybody kind of like intertwines in each other's shows. They're also on each other's shows, but they're all giving such valuable information. If you really want to know, if you are a stockholder and you just like throw your money to, I own Disney stock, I own this. Oh, look, we're going up, we're going down, we're going up. It is not just about that. There is so much more that involves. And I really think you guys, if you do own stock, I think you need to talk to a lawyer or something to really find out how you own a stock and what it does within the company. That's what you guys really need. I mean, if that's anybody like that owns something in the street, but these people here are actual stockholders. So they were very appalled yesterday. They were livid. They were very livid yesterday of just that question set, because that was their time to shine. And what did they ask? 5 questions. And like I said, it was done by an animatronic lady. It was done by a fake lady. So it was all pre-scripted and preempted. And I think that's terrible. Was Bob even there, or was he preempted? Even the video that they showed in the middle of it when he was explaining what we're doing with the Disney company, and we like to thank everybody. And you know what? It was mostly of a 2-minute video that involved him thanking everybody. Everybody was thanking everybody. Who the hell are you thanking? You should be thanking your park goers. You should be thanking the people who are throwing money to you. But obviously, no, they're all too busy thanking each other. See, that to me, that's a slap in the face to us now. See? And that's why I don't go for this company too much. And that's why I don't believe anything. It's pretty wild, folks. Pretty wild. Okay, I'm going to leave now. I'm going to leave it with this. I will speak of another video maybe soon, maybe today, maybe later. I don't know. Let this one load. I've been having a hard time loading videos lately. They've been taking an awful long time. Then I pull them down and then I reload them to kind of reboot them. So thank you so much the other day for everybody liking my videos. And I will talk to you soon. Let me know your views in the comments. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to leave something about the conversation from WDW Pro. I'm going to leave that conversation of that video from today's video in the comments section below. I'm going to pin it to my comments. If you guys are interested to watch, if you guys got money invested in it, I suggest you watch it. Listen to what they said about the aftermath of what went on yesterday. It was pretty wild. It was Unbelievable. I shouldn't be surprised. I really shouldn't. All right, people. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. God bless you all. Love to all. I will talk to you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.